Today I will be teaching the planes of motion using some anatomical terms of navigation. There are 4 planes of motion. For purposes of this video, I will use the terms coronal, mid-sagittal, transverse, and oblique. Now, when you are standing in an anatomical position, the coronal plane runs down your body widthwise, separating ventral or anterior and dorsal or posterior halves of the body. The coronal plane is further broken down into body regions. These are organized on an imaginary grid that is 3 by 3 and stretches from your sternum to your pelvis and encompasses the width of your trunk. Typically, I only refer to the epigastric, the umbilical, the hypogastric, and the right and left lumbar regions, especially when I'm describing which kind of muscle groups to engage in a workout. For example, keeping your transtubercular line, which runs across your hips, parallel to the floor when doing a plank. If you move laterally or medially, you are in the coronal or frontal plane. The mid-sagittal plane runs straight down the center of your body, separating you into right and left halves. Any kind of movement forward or backward is in this plane of motion, so running, crunches. When working out in this plane, it is important to practice contralateral movement. Engaging these opposite muscle groups is essential for strength and activates the neocortex. In other words, adding a balance challenge or resistance bands strengthens communication of both halves of your brain. It increases neural pathways and it leads to better balance and faster response to new stimuli. The third plane of motion is the transverse plane. This is perpendicular to the coronal and mid-sagittal planes. If you ran your arms at 90 degrees to your body, you could use this plane to discuss the proximal or the distal location of bones in your arm and hands. The transverse plane separates your body into superior or rostral and inferior or caudal planes. In other words, it cuts you in half at the waist. Rostral and caudal planes are better imagined on animals, such as dogs, than people. Humans don't crane their neck back to see like they would if they were on all fours. So this secondary method of navigation rotates 90 degrees at the head when we stand on 2 legs. And finally, the oblique plane, which runs at any angle that is not 90 degrees. This plane, typically, it's only used for sections, which are like either thin slices or cuts to the body or imaging techniques that are used for research. This is not a plane that you typically encounter or refer to in daily life. Anyways, that is my video. I hope it cleared up some information about the planes of motion for you.